Oh no! Sometimes these are prolific when you're out catching bait. I'm not sure what they're called. Beautiful looking fish. Very delicate, but. Just came up very thick on the sounder. That's how you want to get them. 3, 4 at a time. Just drop it down while I'm picking these ones up. Catch them out of the rod holder. Catching them straight out the rod holder. Good size yellowtail, good for big Jew. Welcome to Ozfish, Dave here. Let's get some. I'm out for another Jew fishing session today with Brandon. Just haven't fished this spot in a little while. Have caught some good fish here over the years. Tide's running out. Probably going to fish here till about, say, 9 p.m. tonight, and then maybe we'll go a little bit higher up the river and fish the run in. Maybe fish till, I don't know, 12, 1 o'clock, and see what happens. See if we can catch a few Jew fish. And of course I've got my popper rigs, so we're continuing to fish with the popper rigs and just see if we can get a little bit more data in relation to them and make up our mind whether they're working or not. Got some really good live baits this afternoon, some really big baits. And when I'm using the popper rigs, I do like to use really big baits on the popper rigs to get that rattle like really shaking in the popper.
It's having a go.
Oh, that wasn't a very
Pulled a little bit of drag.
that wasn't a very convincing strike there, Brandon. I hope that's not an eel.
That's a fish.
Cleared that other rod, or whether he's
What do you got?
I've got, this is an old ancient rod, man, I used to use for float line and snapper. I just threw in the boat because I'm starting to swap over to all spinning outfits. And yeah, this rod is about, I reckon, 30 years old. net, mate. Too bad, Brandon. Tell you what, he'd be close to 90. Hit him in the top, like that, look.
Bit of it. All right, that's the first fish for the session, Brandon. 92. I'll take it. But I haven't fished this spot in a while, and you and I have been just sitting here for, oh mate, I reckon we've been fishing here for 2 hours, trying to sort out the all the problems in the world, unsuccessfully, I might add. And yeah, this fish has come along and slammed our yellowtail. Thanks for coming, mate. Hopefully he's the first of a few fish tonight. All right. I think Brandon's got a small Jew there. Like we've come up and it's only a small tide tonight, and the tide hasn't quite kicked in, and I dropped the anchor out and I've just had the motor in reverse, and it's just kind of holding us like in the current. And I thought, I wonder if that motor like scares the fish, but obviously not, mate. Only small. Oh, he feels very small, yeah.
Small Jew?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll add him to the tally. Bring him in. Just here. Hey, a little tacker, Brandon. He wasn't worried about the motor. Little fella, probably made about 55, I'd say. Cheeky fella. Crunched that live bait, but all right, mate. Let's have a little bit of a talk about my snapper racks that I use on the boat when I'm Jew fishing. Snapper racks here, snapper rack over this side of the boat. Yeah, over the last 14 months, like I've began to use snapper racks, and I've really embraced the snapper racks when I'm Jew fishing. They're really an awesome thing to do. When I got back into Jew fishing about 4 years ago, live baiting, I was using all overhead reels, and they're fantastic for Jew fishing. And I was putting one, you know, like down the stern of the boat, and I was whacking them out off the sides of the boat, and they were working really good. But what I've done is I've actually begun to transition to all like spinning rods, and you can see like Brandon and I tonight, like we're just fishing with like 4 rods out off the back of the boat, and yeah, we're using the snapper racks. And the snapper racks are just, they just work unreal. You know, they work unreal with circle hooks. You know, they just really allow the rod to just really load up really nice, and our hookup rate on the Jewfish is really high. And usually when I'm Jew fishing, I like, you know, a rod about 7 foot at least, and you know, a little bit of give in the tip, like a softer tip, and they just seem to load up like really nice, in combination with the monofilament that I'm using, because when I'm Jew fishing I use all monofilament, I don't use braid. But yeah, I really do like love the snapper racks, and I just love how they lay the rods down in the water, and they just sound awesome when they go off. You just see them just load up and sort of go flat to the water, and yeah, they're fantastic. And I think, you know, maybe they add a little bit with the circle hook to my success on the yeah, maybe they add a little bit to the success on a circle hook when you're fishing for Jewfish, because I'd say there's a Jewfish. Oh,
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Wow, that's trippy, man. You know, like, that's how a snapper rack works. Look, it's really cool. And with a circle hook, you don't really have to do anything. You can just relax with them. Wow, Brandon, I couldn't do that again, mate. If you like, we tried that 10 times over. Sometimes you just get lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Just allows you to move the rods around really easily as well when you're fighting fish. It could be around that rod maybe, but when you're fishing 4 rods out, it is quite common for the jewfish to move around a lot off the stern of the boat, and you know, to run in and around the other rods, but generally you can work them in and around and get over them, you know. This fish is down in the current. Not too bad a fish. I can feel him down in the current, using that current to his advantage. It's kind of like straight down. Probably a fish at least probably maybe 90. Just going to back the drag off just a little bit. I like to take my time when I'm fighting jewfish. Don't rush anything. What's really common when you're catching jewfish is it's really common to actually have one fish on and actually get slammed by another fish. You quite often get quite a few double hookups. You can see that big head shake of a jewfish. That's why monofilament is really good when you're fighting jewfish. It just has so much stretch in the line, and this rod has a big parabolic bend in it. It's very soft in the tip, very strong here, and what it does is just really acts like a big cushion and a shock absorber when you're fighting jewfish. Yeah, it works like fantastic. You'll see a lot of guys when they're fighting jewfish, quite often a lot of guys use braid. So it's a really violent fight, and a lot of guys get really excited and pumped up when they hit a jewfish. So they tend to pull really hard and then pulling them fish really hard. And if you do that with braid, yeah, you can pull the hooks out of them if you're using J hooks. And what happens is you tend to get these fish to the boat and they're really green and they will just explode up and down the boat. So Brandon and I tend to have them just sort of like come up pretty calm. This fish is just under the surface. So one of the cooler sights in jewfishing is when a jewfish slides out of the dark at you. Like, have a look at this. And he's just there. So you see a jewfish when they slide up at you. And we've got around another rod here. But, just grab that net, mate.
Don't hold that.
Yeah, it's not too bad a fish. And we have pulled him through another rod. And sometimes you've got to do that. And I think we've got him on a popper rig for sure. Yeah, 90? Just.
90?
Yeah. So yeah, I call that for fish for 90 when I'm fighting him. When you've caught enough jewfish, you can sort of, you know, in and around, yeah, be pretty accurate in relation to the size of the fish you're fighting. But yeah, really nice, healthy fish at 90 centimetres. And again, you know, that fish came on the popper rig. I had to pull him through another line. And but anyway, we got him in the end. So I'll get him back, spear him in. Thanks for coming, mate. Beautiful looking fish. My favourite fish to catch. Mulloway or jewfish. What's your favourite fish, Brandon?
Probably jewfish.
Jewfish is your
Sure.
favourite?
Yep.
See you, bro. Well, that's a wrap for Brandon and I. It's after 2 o'clock in the morning. Brandon and I have fished like really hard. We got a 92 further down the river, which was good. We caught a 90 as we went higher in the river, and a small fish at 55. So we only caught 3 jewfish, and I think we caught 1 shovel-nosed shark. So on the jewfishing front, hey, I'm happy. You know, anytime you catch jewfish when you're out jewfishing, that's really good. You know, you don't get a donut, you don't get skunked. So you know, I'm happy that I came out and caught a few jewfish. Didn't catch a really big fish tonight, which is a bit disappointing. But anyway, we came out, we give it a crack. That's the main thing when you're jewfishing, that you're just persistent. You know, you just keep coming back, you just keep putting your live baits out, and yeah, you never know what's going to happen, you know. Like, but I think the important thing is when you're jewfishing and trying to be a good jewfisherman is if you can just catch consistently and catch jewfish pretty much every trip, you know you're sort of like doing things right and you're on the right track to being a good jewfisherman. But anyway, if you like the videos, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, flip your comment. I get back to most blokes. Share it with your friends. But Brandon and I, we're going home. Always remember, let's get some.